B'siyata Dishmaya, we're back at the Limud in Halachot Shabbat, Siman Reish Mem Zayin. What happens? We said yesterday that according to Halacha, right? According to Halacha, we're back at the Limud over here, that it's asur to send a letter with a goy if it was not paid for yet, right? So the Shulchan Aruch told yesterday, we finalized yesterday, that if it's the isur over here because of Chshat. We're concerned that there will be speculation if the goy is very much stressed, looking for the person who the delivery is coming to, and he didn't. That's much, but he didn't get paid because specifically you send him out on Shabbat because you couldn't pay him. So that will be a problem. Therefore, if you didn't prepay him, it will be asur. Okay, but just quickly, today is the 19th of the month of Mar Cheshvan, which is Wednesday, the fourth day of the week of Parashat Shabbat Chayei Sarah. So we're back in Mishnah Berurah in Siv Katan Vav, Asur Lishloach. So explains now Mishnah Shulchan Aruch. What does that mean? You're not allowed to send with him the package if you didn't prepay. Katav Olat Shabbat. So there's a sefer called Olat Shabbat. He wrote the following: V'nired dechol ze ma'iri k'shesholech al yedei hayenu yehudi liyat abei doar. This is talking about specifically when you're sending a mailman. Right, that you didn't prepay him. Aval, however, k'shadam mashliach igeret al yado lechavero, right? And that what about if you send it? I guess with a goy, your friend, you send a letter with him, right?
Not a mailman.
Not a mailman. Okay. En lachosh shema lo yimtzaenu bebeito sheilech acharav b'Shabbat. Here is not a mailman. He's not getting paid for it. Obviously, sounds like you're doing it with a favor. So in that case, we're not speculating to send with him on Shabbat, because he's not going to be in reference to looking for a person who is to send it. B'shari afilu be'erev Shabbat u'blo katzatz, and it's going to be allowed to send. No, even a regular goy who is not a mailman, it's also going to be allowed.
Is allowed,
right? Even if you're paying him.
Oh,
even if you're paying him, and only you're paying him after delivery, also is allowed. That's how he works. That's how far he went, this Sefer Olat Shabbat. We don't know if everybody agrees to it. Well, one second, that's his suggestion. He's telling you the whole problem is with the mailman specifically, where he has the uniform of the mailman. That is going to be a problem that is going to bring you a chash. The speculation that you didn't pay him and that you sent him out on Shabbat. But here you have a regular man, right? You hired a man, but he's not a messenger service. That's not his job.
you're employed.
But you gave him, no, let's not go that far yet. Okay. You just gave somebody, your friend, you said, listen, I'll pay you $1.50, take this package, say, I'll pay the same thing to the postman, I'll just give it to you. When you finish the job, I'll give it to you. Again, it's mentioning here, like we discussed yesterday. As long as a goy could travel and get there, meaning by the means of travel, today we have Baruch Hashem planes, so it's not a problem. In the olden days, they would probably still have to evaluate according to the wagon travel or whatever the travel that took place. As long as the goy could come before Shabbat, right? That even if you give it to him on Friday, it will be allowed. So it looks like Abraham Miprag also passed like that. That the regular goy is allowed to. So the Bach says over there, yeah, there is a way to be lenient. However, Taz and Magen Abraham, those are the sides of the Shulchan Aruch in the regular print, not in the Mishnah Berurah print. Those are the ones that are more prominent poskim that are in the Shulchan Aruch. The Gam Bishloach Hageret Lechavero Gam Ken Yesh Lachashash Zeh. Still, even if you send it like this, not with a mailman, those both disagree with this dot. It's going to be again the same kind of question. U'pirush Rabbeinu Hananel sheyatza ata laor muchach keha'olat Shabbat. However, Rabbeinu Hananel, that was I guess a new sefer that was published in the time of Chafetz Chaim. He says he learns like the Olat Shabbat. It's mutar. Okay, not like Magen Abraham and not like Taz. Ayin Sham. Look over there. Umihu im amar le'enu Yehudi sheilech lesham v'imsor lebnei beito shel oto ha'ish im lo imtzaenu. So he says, however, if you tell a goy today, let's say, go deliver this mail for me, go there and leave it with his family members if you don't find him directly. Out there it's going to be allowed. Why? Because he's not matriach. He has no tircha. he is not worried to find the guy, and he's not going to make noise. According to Taz and Magid Abraham says, I don't care how people are going to be suspecting that he's tarut, he's worried who is the person I'm delivering to. So people start to speculate. So according to Halachot Shabbat, since he's not a mailman, since that's not his job, we don't worry. According to Taz and Magid Abraham, you should be worried. So, but in the end, he says, however, everybody will agree that if you send a goy and you tell him deliver this package, this mail, this envelope, but if you don't find himself, you don't have to look, just leave it in his house. That will be allowed for everybody. Even if you send him below katzatz, even if you're going to pay him after, as long as he could arrive there before the commencement of Shabbat, he comes into the city. Like we said today, even by airplane, he comes to Los Angeles from New York before Shabbat. Even if he's going to look for him at Shabbat, it's not a problem already, because you send him before Shabbat and he addressed the issue before Shabbat coming to the city. Therefore, we have zero concern in reference to that, with that situation. So let's go back to Shulchan Aruch. So he says over here, Afilu miyom rishon. So we said it's asur even from Sunday. Remember, you did not designate a mailman. You did not didn't pay him. You send him to fulfill a job, and even if it's on Sunday, still it's going to be asur, says Shulchan Aruch. What's going on? ואם הוא דרך קרוב כגון מהלך יום אחד, נראה דף אם הוא משלחו ביום שני ושלישי שרי. So it says like this. It all depends, obviously, Berurah explaining to us, it all depends on the traveling time. If it's a day or two traveling, you could send him anytime you want, as long as he comes before Shabbat. So even over there, Magen Avraham says, since the traveling distance is short, and it's way before Shabbat, whatever it is, that as long as he could find the person he was supposed to deliver the letter to before Shabbat, it's not a problem at all again to anybody. But where the problem is that he cannot do it. This is that again, you didn't pay the, remember, what scenario? We didn't pay the guy. We told him we're going to pay him after delivery. And he's going now, his whole tircha, he's traveling, he's all looking, going in from one place to the second place, he's still looking for the man. That will be a problem if there's Shabbat in between. If there's no Shabbat in between, everybody agrees that it's okay. Chet, v'ikviye beidor. So now, what about Chet over here? Let's see that it's talking now. V'ikviye beidor v'matav mishalchan afilu be'erev Shabbat. Oh, so the Shulchan Aruch says, as long as you affixed the stamp or postage before, right? You're allowed to even send it before Shabbat. What's going on here? Hainu she'a'ish ha'mimuneh al zeh kavu hasham tamid. This is specifically talking about that this is the normal action of business. This is a regular transaction where the mailman is constantly delivering there. He's not there for you specifically. ובכלל זה הוא מה שקוראים עכשיו post office. Mishnah Berurah is already the head post office. פוסטמייסטר, שרגיל להיות במקומות גדולים, שהוא עומד על המשמר בעיתים ידועים. The postmaster is always there, and this is their job. They're not working for you specifically. So it's not a problem at all. לקבל כתבים, they're there to receive letters, or שלחם, and to send away, שייכים לכתובים ההם. So he sends it to the addresses where that's a regular postmaster job. So that is, according to all opinions, is okay. This is the problem is going to be if you have, today we have private couriers. So that's what the problem would be. Right? Even UPS, we could say, technically speaking, UPS, Federal, it's not a private courier so much. No. It's not private courier. Private courier is something that's going out of ordinary. Right? How many times UPS come into the Maple, you know? A day.
A day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Depends on the service. Overnight, there's different trucks. Yeah. It's a constant circle. They're constantly, and by them, it's a normal thing. What's a private courier I'm talking about? Let's say we had, in Lakewood, there was a Lakewood courier. He comes out once or twice a week, and he delivers whatever, right? So that kind of...
maybe once a day, but it's specifically to one address.
A courier?
A courier is...
No. Even Lakewood courier would be like a post office. No, let's go with, like I told you, let's do the job for you. Like you're going to be courier between the businesses. So that would be the problem. That kind of problem, because it's not set. It's not set 100%. It's not the daily thing over there. This is a set. It's a weekly thing there. Here it's only upon the orders. So that would be where the problem starts. But if it's a standard business, that's a cycle of business. And UPS, the cycle of business, right? You're trying to ship in our address on UPS. You ever shipped? Right away they give you your suggested address. This is the real address. Which do you want to use, your address, or do you want to use? That means it's already in the system by then. That's what they do constantly. It's not a problem. Okay. Okay. Tet. So now it says which the Berurah in Samuch lachoma. Okay. והוא שיהיה שהות ביום כדי שיוכל להגיע לבית סמוך לחומה. So what is this? That as long as the goy could achieve arriving at the certain city, meaning that he's going to come into the compounds of the city, meaning he's going to go inside the city. So really, he doesn't have to go into the house of the Jew where the delivery is before Shabbat. Even just arriving in the vicinity of the city, that's enough. Why is that? Let's see. So it says which the Berurah, La'ir she'nishtalach sham. It's talking about specifically where the city that he was sent to. Klomar lebayit rishon mibifnim. Meaning, it has to be a vicinity. It's not vicinity just because the zoning. The vicinity doesn't call it zoning by us. Vicinity means passing the threshold that next to the first house, right? You have that many times in the small towns, right? So they would have like a imaginary wall around the town, which could be by by let's say farmers. So you have, let's say, a small town and there's farmers around or manufacturing buildings. So as long as he reaches any of the structure, even manufacturing building, as long as the postman enters into the vicinity before Shabbat, it's mutar. Like, for instance, today, this is a very common question. Very common question. I ordered sandals. My sandals got ripped. I ordered sandals. And my sandals are arriving Friday after Shabbat lighting. Okay. After candle lighting, even after a half hour after nightfall. And the guy came. UPS dropped it off. Many people ask, can I open the box and use the sandals? Again, it was delivered to you on Shabbat.
It was delivered to you on Shabbat.
On Shabbat.
It was sent before Shabbat.
It was for sure sent before Shabbat. Right. Oh.
By a company, by what company? By
UPS. USPS, it doesn't matter. USPS.
Opening it is already, you're tearing
No,
it.
no, you're allowed to, on Shabbat, you're allowed to break. You're not allowed to open mail on Shabbat if, you have some kind of system that you open up the envelope nicely. That would be asur. However, if you rip the envelope,
so you're allowed to go get your mail on Shabbat and open
Le'alacha mutar, yes.
Really?
Le'alacha mutar, why? Because first of all, the mail that's delivered to you, even the package is delivered to you by USPS, it's always here last night. It was here already from before.
Okay, you're talking about the mail of Friday.
No, Shabbat from mail.
The mail of Saturday.
I'm talking about even being delivered on Shabbat.
Okay, so you're allowed to go get your mail.
On the halacha, it's mutar. It's
and
not.
Open it,
we don't do it as a common courtesy of Shabbat because it's not normal thing to do on Shabbat.
Yeah.
But the halacha, if somebody did it, you don't tell them you're in cherem. You're not gonna fight with him.
Interesting.
But better not. But let's say I'm talking about
shoes.
something will come in. The letter is the worst thing to open on Shabbat. It's a bill, $5,000 bill that you owe somebody from 3 years ago. You don't want to see it, okay? You don't want to see the credit card bill. The question is the slippers. That's why I asked slippers, because you need the slippers. You're a person mufunak. You're spoiled. You know what? And you can't walk on the ice, cold floor. You need the slippers. What do?
Oh, necessity maybe. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
All right. So the high is you break the box and you wear the shoes.
Yeah.
However, if it came on Shabbat morning, that would be a problem. Okay, so there is a vicinity. The question is, when did it arrive in the vicinity of your town? You could check today in USPS and post office. The tracking will always tell you if it's in the vicinity of your city. Let's say it's by your postmaster. It's going out delivery tomorrow early morning. If it came before Shabbat, here, halacha is mutar. Yeah. You checked on Friday on the computer.
Yeah.
Right? You check on camera on the computer, and the computer tells you, arrived in Opel, Florida. Opel, that's our distribution center.
Yeah.
Opel, Florida is our distribution center. But the question is, if Opel is our distribution center. Because I don't know, I think still from Opel, Florida, it has to come to Davie or Fort Lauderdale, which is our city considered to be, and then distributed. Then if that arrived out of Shabbat, and now they're delivering to you on Shabbat, and you're already crazy that you must have the slippers, you have to lechoira from this halacha here, Mishnah Berurah says it's mutar, because it's in the vicinity of the city. What do you want to say, Zohar? Zohar, you want to say something? No. Okay.
No.
No
Answer
problem.
my question.
Well, we answered the question already. Good. Baruch Hashem. You're so cool. Like a Yud. Let's see. We appreciate. Thank you. So Yud tells us Haggah. Yesh matirim afilu lo chatzatz, afilu lo kviya bedor b'mata. Im mishalcho b'yom chamishi or kodem lachem. Oh, so let's say the delivery comes on Shabbat. According to Ramah, he says even if you're going to pay him later, as long as you send it on Thursday or earlier, there's no rabbis arguing on that. Wait a minute. Shulchan Aruch said Asur, even from Sunday. Remember, Shulchan Aruch says Asur. Ramah says, I'm going to bring you certain poskim, certain rabbis that allow, as long as you send it before Shabbat, before Friday, right, Thursday, or earlier. Not like Shulchan Aruch said, on Sunday even it's Asur. So what's this Yesh Matirim Lama? What is going on here? So it says now Mishnah Berurah. He has a little piece over here, nice little shtickle, to explain us. What does that mean? Ta'amayu dekivat shelo amar lo Israel behed yeshelech b'Shabbat. Again, Habibi, it's the Ramah it says Shulchan Aruch is too strict here. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You send them out on Sunday, right? You didn't tell them to go on Shabbat. So he says the reason why it's mutar according to his opinions, you did it to work on Shabbat. You didn't tell them to work on Shabbat. It's his problem. It's the guy's problem when he delivers. Let him work at night. Let him walk through the night and not work through the day. So if he works through the nights, obviously he'll cut the distance by a lot. This that he chose to do work on Shabbat, that's his problem. Because I didn't tell him to deliver to work on Shabbat. It's his problem. So yeah. So but Maran is very strict. Maran's saying if you know for sure that they're going to work on Shabbat, for you it's asur. But Ramah says no. En le'esor ki'im samug le'Shabbat denireh k'shuchol le'shel Israel hazeh. The only, says Ramah says, I'm going to only say it's strictly forbidden when you're sending him before Shabbat. There, obviously, it's going to be clear to everybody that you send him to work on Shabbat. But here, since you're sending him before Thursday or earlier, and we know you cannot tell your goita, let's say you have a cleaning lady coming on Shabbat. You cannot tell your goita before Shabbat, oh, by the way, this is our schedule, this is what we like. We like for you to light a candle, lights, turn on the switch at 11:30 because we're going to have a meal in our living room. And you say, you make a cheshbon, in the living room I have 50 bulbs. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And you tell her, by the way, so you come in, Shabbat morning, make sure to turn on the lights for me before Suda, before the meal. Make sure you clean up, and then you turn off the lights. Those lights cost a lot of money, right? You tell her to a goya, it's asur. You told her on Thursday, it doesn't matter when you told her. If you direct a goy to perform a task for you on Shabbat, specifically that breaks Shabbat that you're not allowed to do yourself, it's a birali goy, that's asur. Same thing here, that you're telling a Jew, a goy, Erev Shabbat to go deliver. And he's going on Shabbat for you. That's asur. Aval muflag min Shabbat k'tzat. However, if it's distant from Shabbat, like Thursday, even a little bit or more, it doesn't seem like you're telling him to work on Shabbat. You said it on Friday, on Thursday, whatever he wants to do. But Erev Shabbat, there's something that the special element of Erev Shabbat. We're going into the Shabbat, so there has to be. So maybe it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing for a Jew to understand. Habibi, I'm holding before Shabbat. Maybe that's mitzad the. Therefore, the Rosh says Erev Shabbat. If you're doing that, sending a messenger and you're telling him to go deliver, it's like you told him to. Even though you didn't tell him to deliver tomorrow, he did it himself. The fact that you send it to him, and again, we're talking about specifically where you didn't pay him yet, right? We're already, according to everybody, if you already put the stamp over there, it's not a problem. Yud Aleph, ve'afilu lo kviya. So according to Ramah, he says, B'yom HaMashiach o kodem lachem ve'yesh Yud Aleph, ve'afilu lo kviya bodor. Even if you didn't put a stamp over there, im mishalcho b'yom HaMashiach, that you didn't pay him and you send him Thursday or earlier, that will be allowed, right? So let's say you send it COD, like the olden days we had COD, you send them on Thursday or earlier, says Ramah, according to this opinion that says it's allowed, even in that case. Why? Says Mishnah Berurah, ואפילו ידוע שלא יוכל להגיע לשם קודם שבת, גם כן שרה לדעה זו, according to this opinion, even if you know that he is specifically gonna deliver it on Shabbat, because there's no way possible for him to arrive there before Knisat Shabbat, according to his opinion, it's going to be allowed. Why? דכיוון שהוא מופלג מן השבת, לא מחזיק כשלוחו He says, because specifically it's distant from Shabbat, descending, like on Thursday earlier, so we're not concerned with you. You're preparing him to do work on Shabbat for you. That in itself is enough. According to his opinion, not according to Maran, we already see that Maran, Shulchan Aruch, is strictly forbidding it, strictly against it. So let's just go over, we're going to start Siv Bet, and hopefully tomorrow we'll do the Mishnah Berurah on it. But just let's see what we're going to be learning tomorrow. So Halachot Bet. Zohar, you want to read?
אם התנה עמון, שייתן לו שכרו.
If he made a condition to a goy that he's going to pay him his salary, אף על פי. Continue.
אף על פי שלא פרש, כמה ייתן לו.
Even you didn't tell him how much. You didn't make a settlement on the price. Do you know?
דינו כיוצא, כקוצץ, דשמחה, דעתת דנום יהודי,
Katarach. Okay. So he says like this. You told the goy, he says, you know what, I'll pay you. Don't worry. Meaning for your work. But he didn't tell him how much he's going to pay him for the delivery. He's not going to tell him. Why? So since there was no specific set amount of price for the job for the goy to be fulfilling, and it's all the goy is working but on his own basis that he whatever. So what's the aval bistam? Because the goy is toiling for himself. Aval, however.
אבל בסתם, אף על פי שיש בדעתו שייתן לו שכר.
שכר אסור.
אסור.
דלה שמחה.
שמחה דעתו בישראל כתרה.
Kata. Oh, so he says like this. So when it's mutar, if you made a condition to pay him, right? You said, and you have a set price that there will be a payment. It's like you didn't tell him the price, but you told him, I'm going to pay you X, Y, and Z. So what that is a contract.
Yeah.
That's a contract. That's mutar. However, you didn't tell him, you didn't say, I'm going to pay you whatever. You just said, go take this. Take the package.
And he's thinking in his mind.
He's thinking in his mind, then you're going to pay him. Later, then you're going to pay him.
Okay.
So he's doing it for you. Shulchan Aruch says that's going to be asur. Tomorrow we'll discuss what is going on here. Baruch Adonai Olam, amen, amen. Bezat Hashem, have a wonderful day.
So again,
If you need to make a parasah,
Now you left us.
the what?
It's asur when you're telling him how much you're going to pay him?
No, it's mutar when you tell him. When you set the price, it's mutar. It's going to be asur when he didn't. That's what we're talking about.
Because
Yeah?
again, he has to go. He's worried how much he's going to get paid, and he's
Right,
that's
right.
it. We're coming back to this. Yeah.
Bezat Hashem, we'll discuss that more. You see, Allah is already on top of the situation. Have a wonderful day. Make a lot of money without any headaches. B'shefa b'nachal b'simcha, Bezat Hashem.
Amen. 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 Thank you. Amen.